Number 10. The California Gold Rush of 1849. Picture this. You're a poor farmer in the 1840s and you've heard rumors of a new gold rush out west in California. You pack your bags, head to San Francisco, and discover you're not alone. In fact, over 300,000 people had the same idea, leading to one of the largest migrations in U.S. history. This influx of fortune seekers didn't just reshape California, it accelerated the entire country's westward expansion, and the impact went far beyond gold. It triggered the growth of banks and banking across the nation, but not everyone got rich. Many spent their life savings on the journey only to return home empty-handed. Number 9. The Industrial Revolution in America. During the late 1800s, America was hit by an industrial revolution, setting the stage for major urban and economic changes. Factories sprang up, powered by inventions like the cotton gin and interchangeable parts. This led to mass production of goods and a surge in factory jobs. Major cities grew as people flocked there for work. The U.S. became a manufacturing powerhouse. But this boom wasn't without challenges. Working conditions were tough with long hours and child labor being the norm. The growing gap between the rich factory owners and the working class led to social unrest. No, 8. The 1929 stock market crash. Imagine you're living in the roaring 20s when everything seems to be going great. Then suddenly your investments drop dramatically in value and the economy takes a nosedive. That's what happened after the stock market crash of 1929, kicking off the Great Depression. For American families, it meant lost savings, foreclosed homes, and empty stomachs. President Hoover's efforts to help were initially unsuccessful, leading many to blame him. The effects of the crash were so profound that they shaped policies for decades, making governments more cautious about economic crises. World War II would ultimately end up playing a big role in helping the U.S. recover. No, 7. World War II economic boom. As the world grappled with the devastation of World War II, the U.S. emerged as an economic powerhouse. The war effort spurred massive production of goods, including weapons, vehicles, and military supplies. This led to the creation of countless jobs and the growth of industries. Women entered the workforce in large numbers, filling roles previously held by men. By the end of the war, the U.S. had not only rebuilt Europe, but also established itself as a global superpower with far-reaching economic influence. The seeds of the Cold War were also sown during this time. No, 6. The 1970s oil crisis. Fast forward to the 1970s, and you might find yourself standing in a gas line wondering why there isn't enough oil to go around. The 1973 oil crisis created a shortage of oil in the U.S., leading to skyrocketing prices and a surge in inflation. It was part of a larger trend of energy insecurity that continued with the Iranian Revolution of 1979. These events prompted the U.S. to rethink its foreign policy. Leaders started placing a greater emphasis on maintaining stable relations in oil-rich regions and diversifying energy sources. Now, 5. The rise of Silicon Valley. Now let's jump to the 1980s and 1990s when personal computers and later the internet took off. This era marked the beginning of a digital revolution. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Intel shaped industries from entertainment to communication. Silicon Valley became a hub of innovation and wealth. Some people became incredibly wealthy while others criticized these tech giants for their growing power. The rise of Silicon Valley was a pivotal moment as tech companies started influencing economies and societies worldwide. Now for NAFTA. In 1994, the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, took effect. This agreement eliminated trade barriers between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. For Americans, this meant cheaper goods from Mexico and increased trade with Canada. Supporters celebrated the creation of new jobs and economic growth. However, critics argued that NAFTA resulted in job losses in the U.S. and a widening gap between the rich and the poor. This debate continues to shape trade policies today. No. 3. The dot-com bubble. The late 1990s saw a surge in internet-based companies. This period, now known as the dot-com bubble, was marked by rapid growth and massive investments. Investors poured billions into internet startups. Some companies went public almost immediately after launching. But as the bubble burst in the early 2000s, many of these businesses collapsed. Billions of dollars were lost almost overnight. It was a roller coaster ride that profoundly affected the tech industry and the global economy. Number 2, the 2008 financial crisis. The year is 2008 and you hear about a housing crisis on the news. Little do you know your life is about to change. The housing market began to collapse due to risky lending practices. Major financial institutions like Lehman Brothers collapsed, sending shockwaves through the economy. People lost their homes and Wall Street executives were bailed out. Governments around the world scrambled to find solutions. The consequences were far-reaching, impacting economies and shaping policies to prevent another crisis. Number 1, the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, the world came to a standstill as the COVID-19 pandemic took hold. Stay-at-home orders and business closures sent the economy into a tailspin. Trillions of dollars were spent on stimulus checks to help people and businesses stay afloat. Supply chain disruptions caused shortages of goods. The pandemic had a profound impact on industries from travel to technology. It accelerated trends like e-commerce and remote work, forever changing the nature of the modern economy. These 10 moments are more than just history. They're a roadmap of the forces that have shaped America's economic landscape. Each event offers a unique lesson as we navigate the complexities of our modern economy. So watch this space because understanding these moments can be the key to anticipating what's ahead. Thanks for watching.